Until you learn how to be grateful for where you are, you will not appreciate what you had to overcome. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, then it's not in line and it's not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. In this video, we're going to go over and discuss why you should be grateful, how to become grateful, and most importantly, how to continue to just keep a smile on your face, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you should be aware of. So starting off with the introduction. Until you learn how to be grateful for where you are, you're not going to appreciate what you had to overcome. Everybody, including myself, has a past. Everybody has gone through trials and tribulations. Everybody has feelings. Everybody has emotions. Some days may have been better than others, but you have to realize that if you're still given the opportunity to wake up, it's no reason for you to not be grateful and thankful because you're blessed. Regardless of your religion or spirituality, because we don't force those things onto people, you have to understand that life is right now and it's not guaranteed. Like, there's no timeline, there is no age expectancy to death. That's what I wanted to say. So because you're not guaranteed to live a life and you have no idea what's going to unfold in your life, it's really important that you learn to just be present. And that's the first disclaimer. Until you learn to realize where you are right now, you're constantly going to be miserable and bitter. Like, this doesn't mean that what has happened to you in your past up until now didn't happen to you or that your feelings are not valid. But speaking from experience, what has helped me along my healing journey was to realize that what I did in the past, I did, what I said is how I felt, and you can't go back. Like, and that's number two. You can't change what has already happened to you. If you want your life to be better, if you want to make improvement, all you can do is be present and learn from what you did and how it affected you, and moving forward to either continue to make the same choices or avoid them. And that's number three. Like, it is okay that you've had to learn from life. Like, it's okay that maybe you didn't have the wisdom or the discernment or the knowledge or the resources. Like, it's not the end of the world. You think it's the end of the world because maybe you weren't taught and shown how to persevere. Maybe you weren't taught and shown how to move forward. Maybe you've gone through so many trials and tribulations that you don't understand why. And we're going to talk about that with the recommendations. But number four, there's purpose with your struggling in pain and suffering. There's a reason why you had to go through certain things. I know personally, out of the 29 years of my life, the reason why I had to go through certain seasons and chapters in my life was because I wasn't where I needed to be. I am now, though, like, obviously, and I'm telling you as somebody who's made it to the other side, it's really important that you are being intentional with your time. You are doing the things that you say you want to do, and like anything else, you have to not focus on it. The longer you focus on your past and people and places and things that are not for you, the longer you're going to suffer. And that's the only reason why you're bitter and angry. And that's number five. You have to be able to forgive yourself. Until you make peace with your past, you're going to live in your past. And that's why people have PTSD. This is why people have anxiety. This is why people have CPD. This is why people have BPD. This is why people are depressed. This is why people are anxious. This is why people are whatever, like all these labels and attachments. And if you're new here, I'm your favorite mental health specialist who motivates, informs, and educates, who is a naturopathic physician. And I'm telling you from experience, like, the only time you need to be worried about your past is to evaluate what you did or what you didn't do and see and determine, like I said, if this is something you want to continue to experience, or was it a chapter that needed to be closed? Because the longer you stay stuck in your past, the longer you are going to feel paralyzed. And this is why people have PTSD. This is why people don't move forward. This is why people become depressed. This is why people struggle to physically get out of bed, because you're worried about what happened to you, because maybe you didn't have, like I said, a therapist or God or the ancestors in the universe. Maybe you haven't seen a psychiatrist. Maybe you didn't have anybody to be there for you. And I'm speaking from experience. It's another reason why I created this platform. I've gone through all of the darkest times by myself, but I still had to show up because I knew that, one, my ancestors, God, and the universe was real, okay? And number two, I wasn't going to allow certain situations to happen to me when I knew that sometimes it wasn't in my control. Like sometimes, yes, people do get abused. Sometimes, yes, we do grow up in dysfunctional households. Yes, sometimes we do grow up around narcissistic people. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. This is not going to apply to everybody. You know your story best. Sometimes, yes, you do come from a single parent household. Sometimes, yes, you do come from EBT and WIC and a low poverty income. That's not your fault. But what you are responsible for is how you choose to move forward. Yes, life is not fair for a lot of people. Life is not going to be fair for a lot of people. And me personally, instead of me beating up myself or being angry at certain people and places and things who we thought was going to be there for us or who I thought was going to be there for me, I just decided that, you know what? I personally didn't need these people. A lot of times, like I said, we have attachment issues. We have a lot of internal issues, you know. But now, let's get into the recommendations. You have to realize that, number one, in order for you to be grateful, you need to realize what happened to you. So on your pen and paper, or I said on your pen and paper, on your notes with your pen and paper, excuse me, and in the comment section, I need you to write down the events that caused you the most trauma in your life, because you know what happened to you. You know how you felt. So one of my examples would be, and I talk about this on my channel all the time, is me getting fired at 20 years old. Now, you may be asking me, why is that traumatic? It was traumatic because I grew up privileged. I grew up with a silver spoon. I grew up financially stable. I've never had to work. I never had to struggle. I didn't even have to do a lot of things. I was like London Tipton. That's how my childhood was. Extremely blessed. Extremely blessed. Like my first birthday, you guys, I went to Disney World. I had a passport in elementary school. I had a bank account before I got to middle school. Like, I got whatever I wanted. Like, I was, as my dad would say, spoiled, but I was just very privileged. So when I went from being extremely privileged financially to getting fired and not having any money, it was traumatic. It was traumatic. It was very traumatic. Now, to some people, it's like, oh, well, you just get fired, get a new job. Once again, everybody's feelings are valid. Like, it's okay that maybe that made you sad. It's okay. Like, whatever you've gone through, it's okay. But once you talk about it, once you acknowledge what happened to you, and that's going to be the second thing, you'll then be able to realize why it made you feel the way it did. So for me, the reason why I was sad and why I just was like, oh my God, and distraught was because, once again, I was used to being stable. I was used to having things, and I like materials. I'm a girl. I'm a woman. Like, I'm literally just a girl. Like, I was sad because I couldn't buy the things that I wanted to buy. And I'm not just talking about like purses and hair and makeup, which I do like to buy those things. But it was just like, I couldn't even afford to get basic things to survive. And that made me feel some type of way. Like, I'm not less of a person because I got fired. I'm not less of a person because I couldn't afford things. There are a lot of broke people in this world. There are a lot of people who are struggling to this day. But it's like, you don't have to continue to struggle once you realize that, one, it was traumatic, two, it made you feel some type of way, and three, you validated it. Like, learning that it is okay. A lot of people struggle. A lot of people go through things. Is everyone going to be vulnerable? Is everyone going to be honest? Is everyone going to be accountable? Is everyone real and going to come on the internet and say that? No. This is why, me personally, I decided to create this platform, because, once again, I wasn't ashamed and I wasn't embarrassed. I was sad because, like I said, I do like money. I do like materials. I do like to shop. And I'm not a bad person for saying it. Once you talk about how you feel and you understand why you had to go through it, and that's number three, you can move forward. You can come up with solutions. So my third thing on my notes, why did I have to go through this? The reason why I personally had to be fired was to realize that, number one, I didn't want to work for other people. Number two, I was meant to become an entrepreneur. I was meant to be self-made. And that's what happened. Here I am now, 9 years later. You know what I'm saying? So you need to figure out, what was the reason why you went through the things you did. There's a reason on why you had to go through certain things. Another traumatic situation, I talk about it on my channel. I got into a car accident when I was 19 years old. I got into a really bad car accident when I was 19. I've been in 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe like 5 car accidents my entire life. The one that I got into at 19, the reason why I got into the car accident was because nobody taught me how to drive. I've only driven 3 times. I said 3. 3 times with 3 different adults. One time was with, well, actually 2 times. I've only driven with adults twice. And then the third time, my dad was trying to teach me how to drive a manual car. So I driven one time with my biological mother. And the second time I drove a car with an adult was with, I had some friends at the time, and her mom let me drive. So other than those 2 times with those 2 people, and then the third time with my dad trying to teach me, nobody taught me how to drive. I had to learn how to drive. I got into a car accident, and like I said, learn. I am grateful. I know so many people who have died from car accidents. There are people who die every day from car accidents. What have I learned within the past 10 years of my life? I'm very responsible. I don't play about speeding. I'm never in a rush. I take my time. Like, I've had to learn. Like, I could be dead, and you have to realize that. We could die at any moment. You could die at any second. Life is not promised to you. So it's just like, instead of you holding on to the PTSD and feeling how you feel, talk about it. Immediately, did I have like go into shock? Yes. Like, I was traumatized. Like, it was really bad. It was so bad, you guys, that I had to get surgery. Like, really bad. Was I scared? Once I got out the car, yes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had been in a car accident previously when I was 17, and that one was bad too. Like, that one, when I first got into it, I was just like, yeah, I don't want to drive. I was scared to drive, but I had to get over that fear because I'm like, no. And I just had to learn, and thank God, knock on wood, you guys hear me, knock on wood, I haven't been on one since, and I don't plan on being on one since, at least not in my control. So it's just like, you have to realize that we're going to go through traumatic situations, and we're going to be sad, we're going to be angry, we're going to feel how we feel, but it's not for us to stay there. There is a reason, there's purpose on why you go through it. So until you're ready to be honest, and that's number 4, and be accountable and talk about how you feel, you're going to suppress how you feel. You're going to be bitter. You're going to be angry. There are a lot of people in this world who've been in car accidents. There are a lot of people in this world who've been fired. There are a lot of people who grew up poor. There are a lot of people who grew up silver spooned. There are a lot of people who were around people that were abusive. There were a lot of people who've been bullied. There were a lot of people who've been touched on. There were a lot of people who have been, like, people threaten them. Like, it's nothing new underneath the sun. And that's number 4. You cannot be embarrassed. Once you own up to what has happened to you, nobody could use it against you. So many people be like, oh, well, don't overshare information, or people are going to use information against you. How can somebody use information against you if you told them? It's no longer a secret if you told them. People are so stupid. People are so slow. They're freaking idiots. And I'm going to say that. Like, don't listen to people who are dumb. Don't listen to people who are dumb. If you tell somebody, if I sit here and come on the internet and I tell you guys what has happened to me, how could you use it against me? How can you use my trauma against me? And I told you, I came on the internet. And that's another reason why I created this platform, because who y'all supposed to be? Who y'all supposed to, like, you can't be afraid. I don't have any fear. I have a whole tattoo. I got this when I was in high school. It says love fearlessly. I'm not afraid of nobody. I'm not afraid of a person. None of that. The things that I worry about, or the things that make me feel some type of way, I'm gonna let you know right now, it's not a human being. It's not a human being. Okay? I know there's dolphins in the oceans. Okay? It's so much more to life. You can't be afraid. So what? Because here's the thing. The more you continue to not talk about what has happened to you and how it made you feel, you're going to suffer. And you have to realize, anybody who's willing to make fun of you for going through traumatic situations is weird or a psychopath. They may not be there all the way. The lights may not be on. And if someone wants to make you feel bad about being fired or being in a car accident because you didn't have the resources and you didn't have the tools, stay away from them. It's simple. Why would I want to be friends with people who make fun of me because I had to get fired and I was broke? Why would I want to be friends with people who try to act like they're better than me because they've never been to a car accident? Okay, Miss Need for Speed, if you the best driver in the world, how about you apply to be a what is it called? A NASCAR driver. Okay, and because guess what? Even though they may not have went through those things that you went through specifically, they went through things. Everybody has skeletons in their closet. Everybody has skeletons. Everybody has gone through things. Everybody has gone through things. It's just some people go through more things than others. And the 5th thing, you can't compare your struggle to other people. Like, once you learn that your suffering was intentional, you will learn to be grateful. And that's why it's really important that you use your past, you realize why you went through the things that you went through, and you take the time to come up with solutions and to move forward. So with that being said, whatever you guys went through, I want you to list, so therefore you can let me know how you would overcome it and learn how to be grateful. Because at the end of the day, I'm blessed. I've learned from all the trials and tribulations. Like I said, you can't use information against me, because you have to realize when people try to sit here and use information against you, like I said, I'm 29. I will look at you like you're a weirdo. I'm gonna call you a weirdo, and I'm not gonna talk to you because that's weird. It's never been cool to be a bully. I want you guys to know that. And I've never been bullied before. And I'm not saying that I'm Muhammad Ali, but it's just like, let's be for real. So what? Why would I sit here and not continue to smile? And even if certain things are not in your control, certain things are not your fault. Like, for example, if nobody taught me how to drive, why would I beat myself up? Why would I beat myself up? Why would I be embarrassed? If I got fired because people and places and things tried to sabotage me and do the most, why would I feel some type of way about people talking about me not having a job? And I'm gonna let you know right now, all the people and places and things who did try to come up against me, they learned the hard way. Like, be for real. I'm gonna keep it cute. I'm gonna keep it cute. Like, just be grateful. If you're going to use your past, use it as like a reference so you know what to do and what not to do. But until you learn how to be grateful, until you learn to be thankful, like I said, that you're alive, because if not, you're gonna allow your situations to break you, and eventually you will die. And that's why a lot of people are soulless. That's why a lot of people are miserable, and they want you to feel that way. Like, people think the world is dark. The world is light. It's just darkness exists because people are not talking about how they feel. People are not grateful. A lot of people are ungrateful. Learn to be grateful. Like, okay, so guess what? I got into a car accident. Yes, I do have to get surgery and had to go to physical therapy, but I'm not dead. Look at the positive in it if you can't learn the lesson, because a lot of y'all are hard-headed. I was hard-headed too. Like, not even hard-headed. Sometimes we're hard-headed, you know? Sometimes we just don't know. And you need to ask yourself, did I know better? Did I have the finances? Did I have the resources? Don't you think if I had the education and being taught on how to drive, I would have probably not have been in the amount of car accidents that I was in? Don't you think that if I knew that certain people and places and things felt a certain type of way about me, I wouldn't have volunteered myself to work around certain people? Like, be for real. If you don't have the finances, if you weren't taught and shown how to drive, why would you beat yourself up? If you didn't know that people touching on you was inappropriately, why would you sit here and anger yourself? If you didn't know that certain people were gossiping about you and you were nice and kind to them, why would you feel some type of way? If you didn't know that certain people were cheating on you and you poured your heart and your time, energy into them, why would you feel some type of way? Like, this doesn't mean that you're not human, that you don't have emotions, that you don't feel, but it's like, why should you dwell? Like, why would you stay there? Why would you be stuck inside it? Why would you not be grateful? Like I said, I survived so many accidents, you guys. Yes, I may have to go get a CAT scan and check for CTE, but I'm alive. It could have been, I could have died. Like I said, I've met people who've been in car accidents and they're dead. Your life, you could die in a matter of a second. Being fired, like I said, apply for a new job. Maybe you're meant to start your own business. You're not meant to be here. It's okay. Like, stop being embarrassed about what has happened to you so you could be grateful, so you can continue to smile. Like, I'm not gonna be miserable. So what? Those people got me fired. I didn't want to be around them anyways. Like, I didn't want to be there for the rest of my life. Like, I didn't want to be around them. People who tried to sabotage my relationships. I didn't want to be in a relationship. Like, I was like, honestly, I was embarrassed. Like, it's no shame in my game. I just, like I said, it just made me not want to like be associated with people. Like, I used to be embarrassed. Like, I was so disgusted, you guys. Like, because it's so demeaning and it's disrespectful. So it's like, you shouldn't be embarrassed. In order for you to be grateful, you have to realize how far you have come. You have to realize why you went through the things that you did. And most importantly, just move forward. So I need you to create an affirmation, something that you're grateful for, before this video ends off. on your notes and in the comment section. And make sure you guys are liking the video, sharing, and turning on your post notifications, as well as let me know what you guys want to talk about. Follow me on all my social media platforms. All the information is down in the description box below. And when you guys are following me, head to my Instagram and my TikTok, so therefore we can go live in real time, so therefore we can come up with solutions until we reach our goal here on YouTube. But yeah, I'm not gonna stop smiling just because certain things happen to me, especially if you know people went out their way. Like, if you know people went out their way to hurt and harm you or wanted to see you fail, why would you give them the satisfaction? I will never give anybody the satisfaction. I will mop the ocean with a broom before I ever stop smiling and not being grateful. F y'all, okay? I love you. You're loved. Until next time, peace.